What's going on, my fellow gamers? Isaac here, playing some more Medieval 2 Total War, and this time, it's a request battle. So, I was recently asked, how do you defeat elephants in Medieval 2 Total War? My first response that I considered saying was, well, you don't. They are incredibly hard to defeat. These guys, they're covered in armor, and they either have musketeers, which my opponent has, or cannons. Yes, I did say cannons. They are probably the most OP unit of any Total War series. I understand if you ever go into Medieval 2, do not be surprised if someone says no elephants. Matter of fact, this is only my second battle playing with elephants. Well, I mean, one in which I won against elephants. I played several before this, just kind of seeing how their morale works. They do not die. They do not run amok if you fire flaming arrows at them. If you crowd them around with spearmen and halberdmen, they tear through your guys. They have morale, affect morale against your guys. It is just incredibly hard to beat them. But I think I finally, formed somewhat of a decent composition of troops to defeat them. So I have 5 units of Genoese crossbowmen. You definitely want missile units to defeat elephants. I have in total about 5 units of armored sergeants. I have, I think, 5 units, yes, 5 units of armored sergeants, 4 units of dismounted men-at-arms, 2 units of sergeant spearmen, just a little bit weaker spearmen, excuse me. You can see by their armor, they actually can go up to silver armor, but they never have mail. Now I have 3 units of mailed knights. Key thing to note, well, essentially any type of cavalry isn't that useful against going up against the Termins. They will most likely, like my opponent, bring artillery of some type. He brought 2 catapults, and they probably will have a decent amount of archers. But we're gonna go ahead and hit play and watch this. I guess I can go over what my opponent has. He has some Nafatoons, of course, dismounted heavy lancers. And whenever I say of course, I'm not saying Nafatoons are necessarily bad, but in large quantities they are very hard to defeat, and he has large quantities of them. We're going to watch these catapult shots come in and completely miss. One thing you'll notice, I wish the space thing would work like in Rome 2, but I'm rushing my men up. I'm getting as close to this catapult as possible because I don't want it to fire upon me and kill more of my guys, because it's bad enough I have to go up against elephants. Now my opponent was very good with this micro, using these 2 Mongol heavy lancers to go up on my side. And yes, you did hear, there are his musket elephants. They actually have 2 in each, and they're gonna go ahead and start shooting at my guys. And look how quickly they reload and fire. I'm pretty sure Arquebus did not fire that quickly. I believe there are accounts that it would take up to 15 minutes to reload and whatnot. Here come out, go up against his dismounted heavy lancers. Of course, Nafatoon's coming in, so that's gonna, yeah, look at these. They're already wavering, and that's quite ridiculous, especially going up against spear infantry. And these guys are dismounted men-at-arms. Already have a route over here of Sergeant Spearman.
Our men are under attack.
That is somewhat understandable, but still. So I'm sick and tired of these guys, so I marched some armored sergeants around and gonna stab these guys, because I really hate Nafatoons. He's also using his 3 units Mongol. Yes, Mongol and Khan's Guard heavy cavalry to go up against my guys. He's gonna try and take out my crossbowmen, most likely. That artillery blast hit 1 guy. I'm also engaging his Mongol heavy lancers with my mailed knights. Probably would not win that fight. And here you can see he's charging in against my crossbowmen. And somehow that hit 2 of my horses. Don't know, or 1 horse and 1 crossbow guy. Don't know how that worked, but okay. And let's notice where his elephants are. Armored sergeants went up against them, and they just got completely wrecked. They still have, I believe, full units of elephants. Not a single one has died, even though they take constant crossbow fire, which is incredibly powerful, might add. And are they going to fire in time? I don't think so. And here I'm using some more armored sergeants, kind of go up against these guys. Look at that, they just go flying. Nothing to do. Nothing I can do. And he just completely wrecks that entire unit. At the same time, my male knights, who were actually victorious against the wing of cavalry.
Lord,
but he is swinging them around here.
We have lost half of our men.
And I'm going to rush over here. I'm going to do some hammer anvils. Or not. Actually, I'm sorry. I lied. I'm going to go up against this missile infantry. Boom. Another rout. Sergeant Spearmen. You can see how devastating these guys
Our men are under attack. We must act
here you
now.
can see some of my units, Sergeant Spearmen and dismounted men at arms, coming back very slowly. Defeated that unit of heavy lancers. But overall, just a huge morale problem going on here. Here he's pushing his own horsemen along. And look, I finally killed some horses. They're down. Killed some elephants, not horses. They're down 4 elephants. Took that long. And they're still eager.
Our men are under attack. We need to act.
And look at that, my mailed knights go ahead and rout. Very unfortunate for me, but I'm slowly moving forward and gonna take out his catapults, finally. That was actually one of my main goals earlier on, but did not get to it until now. Going up against more heavy lancers. Don't know how these guys are still here. They should probably break a lot sooner. He's gonna twirl around and get stabbed in the back. He probably deserved it. Naphtatoons coming in, they definitely deserve to be stabbed in the back. And somehow my general is still alive with just 7 guys. You know, it's because I did have so many infantry guys, or spearmen. I was able to ward off most of this cavalry, put them near my guys, put a couple in Shiltron, and I actually missed it. But my crossbowmen finally caused these guys to run amok. Finally, this far into the battle, after I've lost so many troops compared to my opponent.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
And I can see where they would almost be fair because the Termits have such weak infantry, but at the same time, it's not fair. And look at this, Naphtatoons destroying my guys. Where are these guys? Naphtatoons. Tons of these bowmen. Here's the Naphtatoons, just 8 guys and they're able to do that much damage. And these Naphtatoons, 10, they're shaken. They should probably be routing about now. Here a unit of Sergeant Spearmen get attacked by Con Guard. I'm going to rush over these guys and actually cause a rout, which is quite amazing. But they will definitely come back. Look, 24 guys left. No question about whether they're coming back. And here, still trying to kill his Naphtatoons. 1 guy left. No guys left. They're all dead. Finally. But at the same time, he has more Mongol.
Our men are under attack. We need to
not
act.
Infantry, but heavy cavalry going up against my guys, so I have to worry about that. He's going up against my crossbowmen. Like I said, generally crossbowmen are very effective, but it was very hard to take care of that. And I'm dealing with everything across the map, so I'm slowly moving up against these guys. Look at how ridiculous these Naphtatoons are. Just 8 guys, and they're able to do that much damage. I don't believe it. I don't understand how they are able to use that many pots. Here he's using his Con Guard, trying to go after my general. He actually catches them, but I'm going to rush over some Sergeant Spearmen to try and assist in this battle. Same time, more bodyguard going up against my guys. Have my mailed knights up against them. And they're getting shot at the entire time. My opponent was very good with his micro with his cavalry, especially later on because, you know, there's less troops on the battle. But fortunately for me, I want to point out that this unit of mailed knights routed, and they routed this way. So this means I am in a position for a nice hammer anvil against these stupid archers. And at the meantime, I'm using my crossbowmen basically just to take up my opponent's time. I have a unit of armored sergeants over here. They're going to try and stab these men. But of course, they run away.
Our foolish general has thrown his
and there
life
an
away, and perhaps
takes
our
out my
chances
general.
of victory with it.
As my opponent does a hammer anvil against my, or not anvil, but just a hammer against my crossbowmen. But I'm still rushing in my armored sergeants. Causes a rout there. like I said, I did a hammer anvil of my own, I believe, yes, with my mailed knights over here, but they are still somehow just standing around. They're just shaking.
The battle is in our favor.
Don't
If we remain
understand
true and
how they did so well.
wholehearted, victory will be
But
ours.
I move my mailed knights over here, and I rush my dismounted men-at-arms against his bodyguard. Prolonged fight, not entirely sure. It's pretty equal, to be honest. Except they go ahead and rout. Very unfortunate. But we're both lacking in general, so morale is up in the air. But I cause a fighting to the death right here. This missile destroyed another unit, or almost destroyed. Yes, broke that unit. So essentially all he has now is some more bowmen, some con guard, and some bodyguard. And here I'm rushing over some armed sergeants and using the rest of my mailed knights and other infantry units such as
Our
men-at-arms.
men have slain the Saracen general. Now we must send his men
Actually, I
running
lied.
back
I
to the
thought I
desert.
killed his general earlier, but just now did it. He causes a rout on my sergeant spearmen, but there's a rout amongst more of his bowmen. And now he's just down to 2 units up against mailed knights, men-at-arms, and most importantly, sergeant spearmen and armored sergeants coming in. They're going to charge in from the rear. They're very tired, but because you can tell just by the way they're fighting. But we're going to go ahead and stab some fools. Boom, that one routs, 2 guys left, so all that's left of these 12 Consgar. And here is another rout of my men-at-arms.
Victory is ours, but only by a sword's edge.
And indeed, only by a sword's edge, we finally won the battle. And that was an incredibly close victory. So look how many more men I deployed than my opponent. And look how many kills he got, 928. That was quite ridiculous when you think about it. Let's go ahead and look at kills. 78 mailed knight, 89 men-at-arms, 86, stuff like that. I'd like to see how my spearmen did. Actually 0 with an armored sergeant. That's quite sad. That probably went up against the elephants and got routed almost instantaneously. But as you requested, I forget your name, I'm terribly sorry, but I will have a link to your channel in an annotation right about now. But like you requested, I did my go up against elephants thing. Essentially, you want bowmen or crossbowmen. I chose Milan because they have such powerful Genoese crossbowmen, but another one that might be good for going up against them, probably Scotland with Highland archers and noble archers. I was told by another guy that you could quote-unquote just swamp them with a whole bunch of infantry. I tried that in another battle and it didn't work at all. I completely swamped these guys with 8 units and the elephants just tore right through them, and they were spearmen and halberdmen, and it was just ridiculous. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned not to play as the Termids with the elephants. They are very scary. Termids always invade. They're always very freaking annoying to deal with. But like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next chapter.